Hello and welcome back guys, I'm Boom, and in this video we are going to create this HTML form. Now we are not going to style this form just yet. What I'll do is that I'll add a bonus video at the end of the series, so if you guys want to see how I've styled this form, then you'll be able to do that. But the main focus of this video series is going to be on JavaScript. Now we are going to use Atom text editor for this project. You can use whatever you want to, Notepad++, VS Code, but I suggest that you use Atom for this project because firstly it is a very good editor, and secondly you'll be able to follow along exactly what I do in this project, and that would make it very easy. Downloading and installing it is also very easy for every OS, and I'm sure that you'll be able to figure it out. Now once you have downloaded and installed Atom, you'll get an interface like this, and once you are here you can go into File and Open Folder and create and open an empty folder for your project. And it's always good to maintain a good directory structure for your project for future reference. So we are going to use this folder, and we are just going to select this folder, and it will open this new window for us. Now in here we are going to create an index.html. For that, all you need to do is right click on this folder and new file, and we are going to add index.html. Okay, cool. So once inside index.html, it is very easy to add some boilerplate code. All you need to do is type in HTML and hit enter, and you are given this boilerplate code. Now let us quickly go through what the boilerplate code says. So we have HTML tags, and we have a language attribute saying the language is going to be English, and the direction of the language is going to be from left to right. We also have this head tag inside this HTML, and this head tag has this meta tag which says the char set or the character set is UTF-8. We also have an empty title tag, so let us put in our title here. And now inside the body we are going to add a div which is going to act as the container for all our HTML. Now inside this div, let us quickly add an h1 tag and see if everything is working properly or not. Now at this point we can just go into our folder and double click on this. So everything works and we're able to get this heading, but if you go to the URL, you'll see that the protocol that is being followed here is not HTTP protocol. The HTTP protocol is the protocol that is followed in the web, and that is what we want to do. So for doing that, we have to install a package in Atom. So to install a package in Atom, all you need to do is go to the settings from File, and here you'll have to select the install tab and search for live server. Now I have already installed it before, so you'll get an install button here, but I'm going to enable it now. And we are also going to install another package which is prettier. Now this package is useful for formatting, and we'll see how that is so soon. Okay, so we are going to enable this as well, and once we have enabled this, let us quickly go back here, and to start the server, all you need to do is go into packages, Atom Live Server, and start the server. So we are successfully able to spin up a local server, and if we go to the URL, we can see the protocol that is being followed is HTTP. Now this is just the IP address of localhost, and this is the port that is being used by live server, so we don't have to worry about this. The important part is that the protocol that is being followed is HTTP. Now whenever you start live server, this browser tab will automatically open up, so you don't have to worry about that as well. And this is not the only benefit that live server provides us. So if you go back into Atom and change something over here, so let's say we change register to registration and save this. Now if you go back into our web page, we can see that this change is automatically reflected here. We did not have to reload our page. Now that is something that live server does for us. It detects any change in our file, and whenever it sees a change, it automatically reloads our page for us. Okay, great. Now back to Atom. You might have noticed that h1 jumped from down below to up here. Well, that was prettier. Prettier formats our code to improve readability. So if our code is very badly formatted, so this is a very badly formatted HTML, and now if we save this, we can see that Prettier formatted this for us to improve readability. Okay, so that is it about the packages. Let us quickly continue adding our form. So let us change this back to register very quickly, and we are going to add our form down here. So a form. Now the first attribute that we're going to add to our form is action. Action basically specifies the route at which we want to submit our form once we hit on the submit button. So we don't have to worry about this right now. We'll have to handle this when we are creating our server. So we can choose anything random at this point. The next attribute that we are going to add is method. So we are going to choose the post method since we are trying to post some data to the server. Okay, great. Now, the first field that we're going to add is the input field for the first name. The type is going to be text and the name is going to be first name. We don't need value and we are going to add a placeholder that says enter first name. Okay, great. We're also going to add an ID that says first name as well. Now, how is this name attribute and ID attribute different? Well, the name attribute is basically used to identify the data that you send from this input. So whenever you submit the form to your server, the data from this input is going to have the label first name, which is going to come from this attribute. Now this ID. ID is basically used to uniquely identify any HTML element in your web page. So this ID is used to uniquely identify this input field. So whichever element you want to identify uniquely, you will give an ID to it. Now remember this, no two elements in an HTML web page can have the same ID. Okay, so now we are going to add IDs to this div and name this main, and we are also going to add an ID to this and name this pages. Okay, great. Now if we go back to the web page, we can see that the input field has been added. Now what I want to do is I want to add a label in front of it that says first name. To do that, let's go back to the editor and add a label over here. Now this for attribute has to match the ID of the element with which you want to match it. So I'm going to copy this and paste it over here and name this first name. Great. Now if we go back to the web page, we can see that this first name has been added and the form is taking shape now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this label and input inside a div, and this is mainly for styling purpose. So as you can see, a class attribute has been added here. The class attribute is also used for identification, but it is not a unique identification, it is more like a general identification. So you can have a lot of elements with the same class. Anyways, we are going to add a class of wrapper over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this div 5 times for the 5 different inputs. Now it's a very good idea to add comments to your HTML so that if you open this after a very long time, you'll be able to identify where everything is very easily. So let's add a few comments. Password and repeat password. Okay, great. So now let us quickly change the attributes for the different fields. This is going to be changed to last name. The type is going to remain the same and we're just going to copy and paste it over here. This is going to change last, enter last name. The type for email is also going to be changed to email, and we're just going to copy and paste it over here, here, and here. This is going to be changed to email. Now the type for password is going to be password, and we're just going to copy this, paste it over here, and over here. Type for repeat password is going to be password as well. And the ID is repeat password. We're just going to copy this, paste it over here and here, Okay, great. If you go back to our web page, we can see that the fields have been successfully added, and the only thing that's remaining is a submit button. To at the submit button, let's go back to our editor and add a div of class wrapper, and we're going to add a button inside it. The type of the button is going to be submit, and the name is going to be submit btn. Now the name of this button cannot be submit, as it would cause an error, and we'll get back to how that is so later. But for now, let us just add in register over here and save and go back to our web page, and you can see that the register button has been added. We will start with some basic JavaScript from our next video, and that is it for this one. If you guys were able to learn something, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the very next one.